You've been told your whole life, save your money, don't spend it, put it in your bank account and you'll be fine. And you believed it. You set up your little savings account, you stopped buying things you wanted, you sacrificed, and every month you watched that number go up. You felt responsible, smart, safe. But here's the thing nobody told you: while you were busy saving, your money was slowly dying. And no, I'm not talking about bad investments or gambling. I'm talking about something that happens to everyone every single day, whether you know about it or not. It's called inflation. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why it's eating your savings alive and what you can actually do about it. Let me start with something simple, something everyone understands: bread. Imagine you walk into a bakery in 2010. A loaf of bread costs $1. You think, perfect, I'll save $10 this month. That means I can buy 10 loaves of bread whenever I need them. So you put that $10 in your savings account and you forget about it. Now fast forward to today. You go back to the same bakery, same bread, same recipe, but now it costs $1.50. So you grab your $10, proud of yourself for saving, and you go to buy your 10 loaves, but the cashier stops you. Sorry, that's only enough for 6. Wait, what? You saved $10, the money is still there, you didn't spend anything, so why can you buy less? That, right there, is inflation. Your money didn't disappear, but its power did. With the same $10, you can buy less than you could before. The numbers in your account stayed the same, but the world around them got more expensive. And here's the scary part: this isn't a rare event. This isn't a crisis. This happens every single year, always, everywhere. Okay, so what is inflation exactly? Think of it this way. Imagine there are only 10 apples in the world and 10 people, each with $1. Each apple costs $1. Everything is balanced. Now imagine the government or the central bank decides to print more money. Suddenly, each of those 10 people has $2. But wait, how many apples are there? Still 10. More money, same amount of stuff. So what happens? The price of apples goes up. Now each apple costs $2. Nobody got richer. The apples didn't change, but the value of each dollar went down. That's the simple version of how inflation works. Too much money chasing too few goods means prices go up and your money buys less. Now, in most developed countries, inflation runs at around 2 to 3% per year. That doesn't sound like much, right? Let me show you why it is. If inflation is 3% per year and you have $10,000 in a savings account earning almost nothing, which most accounts do after 10 years, you technically still have $10,000. But in terms of what you can actually buy with it, you've lost the equivalent of about $2,600. Not because someone stole it, not because you made a bad decision, just because time passed. Let me make this real with 3 people. Tom, Sarah, and James. They're all 25 years old, they all just got their first serious job, and they all have $5,000 saved up. They make the same salary, they have the same expenses. The only difference, what they do with that $5,000. Tom is cautious. He doesn't trust anything. He puts his $5,000 under the mattress, literally. No bank, no account, nothing. After 20 years, he still has $5,000, but inflation has been running at 3% a year. In real terms, his $5,000 is now worth the equivalent of only about $2,750 in today's money. Tom saved everything, and still lost half his purchasing power. Sarah is a little smarter. She puts her money in a savings account. It earns 1% interest per year. After 20 years, she has about $6,100, but inflation ate through all of that and more. In real purchasing power, she's barely breaking even. She ran as fast as she could and stayed in the same place. James invests his $5,000 in a simple, diversified index fund, something that tracks the overall stock market. Historically, these return about 7 to 8% per year on average. After 20 years, James has around $20,000. Same starting point, same salary, same 20 years. Tom has less than he started with in real terms. Sarah barely kept up, and James quadrupled his money. The difference wasn't luck, it wasn't some secret. It was one decision: what to do with money after you save it. I already know what some of you are thinking. But James could have lost everything. Investing is risky. And yes, investing has risks. I'm not going to lie to you. But here's a question nobody asks. What's the risk of not investing? We just saw it with Tom and Sarah. The risk of doing nothing isn't zero. It's guaranteed, slow, invisible loss. Inflation doesn't care if you're afraid. It doesn't pause while you think about it. It works 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Now, does this mean you should put every dollar you have into stocks tomorrow? Absolutely not. Here's the sensible version. Step 1. Keep 3 to 6 months of expenses in a savings account. This is your emergency fund. It needs to be liquid, accessible, and safe. Step 2. Everything beyond that, put it to work. Not gambling, not crypto memes. Simple, boring, long-term investing like index funds. The goal isn't to get rich overnight. The goal is to make sure your money grows at least as fast as inflation, preferably faster. Let me leave you with something you can actually use. A simple rule. If your money isn't growing at least as fast as inflation, you're getting poorer even if the number in your account is going up. Read that again. Your savings account might show more money every year, but if inflation is 3% and your account earns 0.5%, you're losing 2.5% of your purchasing power. Every single year. So the question isn't, am I saving? The question is my money keeping up? Saving is not bad. Saving is step 1. But saving alone, stuffing money in an account and forgetting about it is not a financial strategy. It's just slow-motion loss. The people who build wealth don't just save, they save with a purpose and then they put that money to work. So here's where you stand right now. You now know what inflation is and why it's not just some economics textbook word. It's happening to your money right now. You know why saving alone isn't enough, and you know that the alternative isn't gambling or taking crazy risks. It's just making intentional decisions about where your money goes. And the good news? This is something anyone can learn. No experience needed, no huge amounts of money required. The tools exist, they're accessible, and they're simpler than you think. You just need to know where to start. If this video helped you see money differently, give a thumbs up and subscribe to Velian. We're here to make this stuff simple, because nobody should lose money just because they don't know the rules.